So please tell me a little bit about you. How did you start with music, with singing? When was it and how and why?
I am the daughter of two classical musicians. My mother is an opera singer, and my father was a classical composer. So I grew up with all these dramatic operas and pieces of music that really was, in any means, very dramatic. And and it was also very, very serious. We read all the librettos, and I was really, living in this opera world. Although my mother was very down to earth, she would go up with me every morning and go to school, and it was not like she was like a diva on the couch, It was not like that. But music was very serious, and that was good, and sometimes also a little pressure, later on, But then among all my parents' classical records, there was one record with the American jazz singer Nancy Wilson, if you're familiar with her.
Sure.
And she's just amazing, And I became instantly a great, great fan of hers because she had this smooth, very, very musical, very sexy voice that I fell for instantly. And I heard that record over and over again, and of course I didn't understand any of the words, any of the lyrics, but that didn't matter. So that was my very beginning.
Did you feel that there is something different between the classical music from your mother and your father and that what Nancy Wilson was singing? Did you feel the difference?
Yeah, there's a difference. The whole feeling in classical music, the rhythm, the beat, the way you intonate, which means the way you sing the note compared to the chords. Whether you sing music, musicians know about this. Whether you sing flat on the note or you sing high on the note. So the feeling is much different. But I'm happy to do both.
As far as I know, you started then as a pop singer. You had a band called Street Beat.
Yeah,
and
that's
another
right.
1-2.
Yeah.
Was it right?
Yes.
And this was very popular in your home in Denmark, was it?
Yes, it was. Street Beat was a funk band. That was a time of funk with a horn section and, all these movements. And, it was a lot of fun. And that was even before the records. It was even before that you needed a record to get out. So it was just like hearsay. We had a lot of gigs. And I remember I was like 17 at that time. And that was before I even had my own phone. So I was at a phone booth at the street where I live with a phone book, looking up all the high schools and gymnasiums. And I was just calling them in their lunch break. Yeah, hi, I'm Cæcilie. I'm with a band called Street Beat. Are you responsible for the parties you have in their school? And then we just get into the high school market, and we had a lot of fun. There was a lot of parties, So that was the beginning.
What did your parents say about that?
They were very, very supportive. They tried everything that they could to just see that's how we do it, because it was so different. And
you were pretty young then, 17.
Yeah, I was pretty young, pretty independent, you could say.
So they supported it, really?
Yeah, they did. And actually, with Street Beat, we got, after half a year, we got a fantastic record deal, actually. But we were like tied up in 5 years, and that was pretty long when you're 17. It's until you're 22. And that was actually with Metro Fortis record company, Steiner Records, I thought, and that was, I mean, Mezzoforte at that time also, they were huge. So that was a big deal for us. But my mother and father actually advised me not to sign that contract because that was a little too long for my age. And I was really glad that they gave me that advice because there was so much more to come, more to learn for me at that time. Yeah.
And how did the change come? How did it come to change to jazz music?
I mean, it didn't. I mean, it started. My love for jazz started from the very beginning, and I have no idea why. I guess it was Nancy's fault. Yeah, we blame it on Nancy Wilson. And,
thanks God, Nancy.
Yeah. And so, but there wasn't very much focus on jazz. So a lot of people thought that I was starting my career with a pop band, the very popular pop band called 1-2, and they say, okay, and then later on you turn to jazz. And I said, no, I've been singing jazz all my life. It was just because it wasn't in the papers every day. It wasn't that much in the radio, and you know how it is with jazz.
So thanks so much for being here.
You're welcome, Peter.
Okay. Cæcilie Norby.